to take you, sneak up from behind. Is it me you say you're looking for? Let me show you who I am and what I'm here for. Here for. Hey! Trying to reach inside of me, trying to drain my energy. Let me show you just what I'm made of. Simple curiosity, trying to take a bite of me. Let me show you just what I'm made of now. Trying to reach inside of me, trying to drain my energy. Let me show you just what I'm made of.
So is that the X is obnoxious, the narrator, whenever this text goes to this cursive and bold?
Not in this case it isn't. Which I know it's confusing, but...
I'm waiting for the day.
Yes, like I said, the bard does a killer Ixis Nogus voice. He chews the scenery like a hungry hippo. Anyway, Chapter 2. The lonely child genius named Miles was in the secret laboratory. In his secret laboratory, I should say, working and tinkering at his ridiculously huge inventions. Or so he would have, if his obnoxious and noisy sister wouldn't have been there, destroying everything she would touch. "Hi, Miles!" she screamed with her high-pitched girly voice. "Cream! Get out of my lab!"
Yes, I believe that should be Marty saying that.
This is a Dexter's Laboratory reference, obviously.
I can see that, but still.
Yelled back the geeky fox, but to no avail. Suddenly, a humongous anthropomorphic bottleneck came out from nowhere. A maniacal laugh could be heard from its cockpit. A very stupid laugh, indeed.
Oh no! It's my arch nemesis, Eggman Dark!
Okay, that's better. Cried the irate Vulpine. "Prepare to suffer humiliating defeat, Miles! I am the real genius around here!" Miles was about to react when... "Miles, the dinner's ready," said the new feminine voice.
Mom? I thought you was dead.
I thought you was... Why? Why would you do this to me?
Why is this a thing?
I thought you was dead, said the confused kid. "Oh, but I am." And there she was, his mother, his roboticized mother. And he was terrified.
And Holly.
And what?
Never mind, I was joking.
I literally did not understand that. Her mechanical self was staring at the frightened cub with her red glowing eyes.
"Well, don't you want to hug your mom?"
she said while extending her lethal claws toward the fox's direction.
Hug mommy.
You should be every robot now.
No! No! Stay away from me!
Cried the distressed Kitsune while stepping back in fear. He could cry for fear. That's an old one. Only to come across another familiar figure.
"Hey, son, wanna play baseball with your old man?"
said the robotic voice of his father, who was holding an iron mace with bad intentions.
Is there a third narrator?
Something's coming. Anyway. No, this is supposed to be a nightmare.
It's written like this kind of a weird way that it seems like it's a joke, but it's meant to be played seriously.
No, that's just my style of writing. Which is really bad and tonally dyslexic, I realized.
I don't want.
Miles tried to mutter when yet another silhouette came in his view.
Hey, Miles, why don't you come in to my living room?
Oh no! Anybody but him! Hey there, little buddy! Wanna do a race with this Mondo Cool Hedgehog? Sonic! Metal Sonic confidently asked. Oh, now this is a real nightmare. And now the scared kid was surrounded. He curled into a ball and started crying.
Please, please, leave me alone. Leave me alone. It wasn't my fault. Please.
Especially you, Sonic. Back off. He desperately pleaded, not noticing an improvised change in the scenario. Whoa, tough crowd. He rose his head and gave a good look around. He was back in the forest. And guess what? Guess what he was now? A, he was in good company. B, he was pondering about the meaning of life. Or C, he was not alone.
He was not alone?
And he was not alone! A dramatically familiar shadow. Okay, thank you for the delayed reaction.
I reacted to the sentence dramatically familiar.
A dramatically familiar shadow was upon him. I'd say that this terrible style of writing is a precursor to Sonic Boom, except not meant to be ironic or funny. Well, at least not entirely.
Cosmo!
He cried in hope, while I cried for fear. Void! It solemnly responded. Miles gulped.
Glung.
Exactly. The now recognizable outline of his latest foe. Yes, foe. Took a red Chaos Emerald out of nowhere and yelled, I will free my master, Ixis Nagus, by the power of Grayskull! I have the power!
With your chaos combined, I am Ixis Nagus!
Oh my god, what a weird Captain Planet story. I will free my master, Ixis Nagus, from his prison and clean this world from its impurities!
Oh, so it is Captain Planet.
The fox was utterly confused by that remark. Void continued. I'll do it for my mother's memory, for Cosmo! And then, without any logical explanation, but then again, what else is new, Miles was back in his secret hidden laboratory in his regular dream. Strange things happen in Miles' lab! Exactly. Exactly, it is
What
actually
was that last sentence?
a reference to Dexter's laboratory.
Well, I haven't seen that series, so...
Okay, well, you missed out. Back
Okay.
to present time, so who wants to continue here?
Okay, so who should read next?
Do you think he's okay? No.
Ask the understandably worried chipmunk lady to the red shaman.
Red Shaman is a nickname I would not have expected to use.
Especially for this
him.
guy.
Yes.
Yeah, he'll survive. Although with those injuries, he'll probably be asleep for a day or two. I'm not a doctor, you know, but I like to pretend to be one
Well,
sometimes.
he's the only one who heals people, so I guess by default he is the medic.
Now that I think about it, that sounds like a line that should be in Sonic Boom. I'm not a doctor, you know, but I pretend to be one. So that's good enough, right?
Yes, that totally sounds like him, and he might have actually said that.
Responded Knuckles right after using his amazing healing abilities on the young sleeping kid in the bed.
Oh my gosh!
Okay, now that you have reacted to it, I can see this might sound a bit disconcerting.
With Marty's voice as well.
Yes.
Do you feel yourself wet yet?
No!
No.
Marty, no!
Oh, Matti, you are a Scandinavian Tony J.
Sally Acorn sighed in relief. When her adopted son showed himself with those ugly injuries, she was overtook by panic, and her instinctual reaction was to activate the emergency call system on her wrist comm.
I'm sorry, why do I have this feeling that you're about to burn Paris in search of a...
Burns my skin.
Oh my god.
That was probably better than imagining him reenacting gay puri.
No longer after receiving the alarm message from the former commander-in-chief, all the Mystic Runes FF rushed for her hut in a great deal of concern.
I mean, jeez. I would be concerned too by this voice.
Do you want me to change into something?
No! No! No, please don't.
For the time being, Knuckles had to explain to the squirrel the latest developments. She didn't seem happy with the news.
You've let a robot to come in your base? Well, she's Sally. If you put it like that, it sounds like they really messed up this one. Maybe you should not have stepped down from being the leader of the freedom fighters?
As a matter of fact, she was furious.
You didn't even invite me, guys! I mean, I want to be stupid with you guys!
The Red Echidna had seen this coming a lot of time ago.
A lot of time ago? Okay. It is so simple yet so lethal.
Ahmed, and calmly explain his motivations behind his decisions and course of actions.
Tails wanted to.
Okay.
For some reason, that didn't quite convince his interlocutor, which was fuming like a ship by now. Definitely not a friendly sight.
Definitely is back, guys. Hey!
All the Definitellis!
Yes, the fifth Ninja Turtle, as we know. Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, and Definitelli.
Definitelli was the sixth one after the female turtle.
No, she doesn't exist.
Oh boy.
Outside Tails' room, the other three FF were sitting on old chairs, just sank in the merciful chaos for not being the sacrificial goat for Sally's wrath.
Hey, Chaos. Sup? Thanks for sparing us.
You guys are going to get the princess bitch slap.
Oh boy.
So is Chaos like an actual god, or is Chaos more like a force of nature kind of thing?
Force of nature, like
It
fate.
is definitely the latter in here, but it was actually a character in the Sonic games, so hence all this joking around.
Oh yes, that water thing in that Sonic Adventure, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was so stupid. Anyway,
That's supposed to be.
it really wasn't.
There's something I don't understand.
Said the pink.
What else is new, Amy?
Said the pink hedgehog, Amy Rose, in the feeble attempt to distract herself from the devious screaming sounds.
You've gone full Tony J at this point.
What is it? Replied Blaze.
Wow, Blaze sounds like she's so invested in the situation.
What is it? Replied Blaze, the object of Amy's conversation. Of course it could be Espio, could he?
Get it? Because he doesn't talk.
Why didn't Knuckles immediately heal your wounded wrists in the first place?
That's a good question, Knuckles. Why didn't you?
Asked the hedgehog while observing the cat's bandages. Blaze looked down at her wrist as well, and saw her expression in her face.
Because he wanted me to feel the pain.
Oh
What?
gosh!
What?
So,
What
so-
the
so-
frick?
There's
Knuckles.
not a single likable character in this game.
Oh my god!
Knuckles-
Why?
And I thought Energy Core of Power was bad in that regard.
Apparently Knuckles is Brock Lesnar. I'm bringing you the pain! What?
Yelled a bemused Amy.
And also Devar in my eardrums. I mean, that would be my reaction exactly, because what the living hell? Knuckles? Okay, but let's hear the explanation for that. I said, let's hear the explanation for that.
Yeah. He said that feeling the pain is what keeps us all alive. He wanted me to truly taste it, so I would appreciate more the gift of life, and wouldn't do that insane gesture again.
Who the hell? Who the hell are you? You are not Knuckles.
Knuckles has been replaced with Am.
This is written by Arlan Hellison at this point. My god! What the hell is this mentality? What is this logic? You have to feel the pain so you can appreciate what being alive is like, so you won't commit suicide anymore. I are the smarts.
Well, some philosophers think that humans define their existence through pain or something.
Yes, that philosopher would be Friedrich Nietzsche, but Knuckles is not a philosopher! Damn it! He's supposed to be a pragmatic guy.
Okay, let's carry on.
Amy gave another look at her wounds, compassion in her eyes. And now
Did it-
kiss.
What?
He said no kiss.
Oh my god, Matti.
Do they hurt a lot?
Blaze stared back at her.
Like hell.
She answered, and without any advice, the Binkul hugged her cat friend tightly. Blaze felt a little awkward at first, but then she hugged her back.
You are my sister now!
And then they kissed.
Stop it. Stop it. Damn it. Damn it. You can't do that. They are sisters now. That would be incest.
That makes it hot.
I freaking knew it! Devar, why do you have to be the guy who says that? That is so out of character.
I'm channeling Ross, okay?
You should speak more nasally then.
Ah, right. You gotta speak more nasally like Ross.
Would you like me to tell you all about my secret OC's love life?
No!
Okay, in that case, let's continue.
I really wouldn't know what to do without all of you.
Muttered the young feline. Amy sweetly giggled, sincerely moved by the cat's confession.
I am laughing at your misery! Ha ha ha!
Well, sometimes people laugh when they're supposed to cry, because they use the same muscles.
Matti, I appreciate you trying to save this, but please don't. It's not worth it.
Espio was asleep, dreaming about 7 chameleon samurais defending a random village from bandits. Whatever.
Oh yes, Espio is dreaming a teaser for my next epic unfinished fanfiction, which is a parody of The Seven Samurai by Akira Kurosawa, starring the cast from the Sonic universe.
And of
Oh,
course
God.
the story would have no meaning because it was all a dream.
No, worse.
Oh gosh.
Everything was linked and meant to happen because of the doings of one guy! Which is much worse.
In this precise moment, Knuckles exited the room he was in, visibly traumatized.
I had no idea. She knew all those words.
Wow, he's been schooled.
Yeah, I mean, she had a dictionary in her hand, honestly.
Yep. Amazingly enough, he's been out-cursed!
Dun dun dun!
He was outcursed! That's worse than banishment!
Wow, I can't believe I wrote this. Yes, I wrote this.
He known 5 different words for vagina.
You mean
God.
as many as there actually are, you mean? Okay.
He sat on a spirit chair and calmed his shaking self. He then looked the others dead in the eyes before talking.
We need to find Sonic.
He said while cracking his namesake.
That's nice. Production value.
Undeniable agreement was showed in the other's body language.
What the hell is this sentence?
So you mean as in like, they puffed their chests out and he like knew that everybody was on board?
There had to be a better way to say this.
Do you really think he's responsible for what happened to Tails?
Asked Amy.
I don't know. But he's the only track we have.
Quietly replied her leader.
Are you breaking down, Matti?
It sounds
just-
like it.
Doing something to break up the monotony. Oh yeah.
But he can break the sound barrier on his bare feet. He could have gone anywhere. He could have gone back to Robotropolis as we speak.
Blaze logically stated.
Well, if that's true, then the other FF base's defense systems would have already detected his passage. A blue blur does not pass unobserved, and they would have advised us by now. No. My theory is that he's still somewhere around the country. Look at me, I'm acting all geeky now.
It's county, not country.
What
counting.
makes you think that?
Because right now, he's afraid. He's like a lost child in a world that doesn't belong to him. At least not anymore. I can understand that, since I used to have the same problem when I became the last of my kind.
Last of the Mohinkdanas. No, it doesn't work.
No.
Knuckles' unusually profound reasoning left everybody wide-eyed and speechless.
Because he
Yes.
knew how to think, like a ferryman.
In Espio's case, only wide-eyed. The Red One's face frowned quite miserably, realizing his mistake. He let his emotional barriers to fall, even if for only a moment. And now, they all knew his deepest sorrow. The tragedy of being the last of a whole species, alone in a forging and cold world.
You know what the best part of all this is?
What?
He just finished explaining this exact same thought.
Yes.
Wow! So redundant.
I'm an elitistic narrator and think that all my readers are idiots.
That's pretty much all there is to fanfiction writing, is there? Anyway,
Or at least, he thought he was. He still had hopes. He hoped he could find his lost family, his parents and sisters, and embrace them once again.
And kiss.
No!
That's even better.
I'm kidding.
Somehow, he felt they were alive somewhere. Or perhaps, he was just deluding himself.
Knuckles?
The voice of a preoccupied catgirl interrupted his train of thoughts.
Eh? Oh yeah. Listen, I'm gonna look around the county for that hedgehog. Who wants to follow me?
He asked. Blaze's determined gaze was the unmistaken answer he was looking for.
why is this so funny?
Unmistaken.
It's technically not wrong. It sounds awful, but...
I mean, unmistakable would have made more sense.
Okay, fair enough.
Very well, Blaze. But first, a message from our sponsors.
Are you tired of good grammar? You want variation? Buy Definitelli now!
Definitely delivered to you by Dirky the Dirk Elf. Grammar is lost on everybody as soon as she delivers.
Suddenly, he grabbed the cat's arms and healed them.
Oh, screw you, Knuckles! Screw you!
Here, you won't need those bandages any longer.
Muttered the Crimson Healer. Blaze simply smiled and nodded in silent gratitude before disposing of the aforementioned bandages.
Say, Knuckles,
An amused Amy asked.
What is it? How come you haven't muttered a single curse in almost 10 minutes? Did Sally beat you that badly?
She slyly remarked.
Shut the fuck up!
He finally yelled.
That's the Knuckles we know and love.
Said a laughing Blaze to a blushing redder Echidna.
Shut up! It's not that I like you or anything.
There's nothing I like you or anything. I mean,
Shut the fuck up! Oh,
I'm a man. I'm full of testosterone and
emotions are for sissies and girls. Okay.
Oh gosh.
Next up is a new paragraph. So Devar,
that
if
would be
you
me,
please.
yes. Let's see what voice I could do.
Slowly and sensually.
Clean, calm water. Golden, warm sand. The relaxing sound of the waves. The soft wind fruitless quills. Emerald Beach was definitely the site.
The site.
Yes, the site.
The site to end all sites. Capital T, capital S.
He was accustomed to loneliness. He embraced it, all in the name of his quest.
Is this a My Chemical Romance song?
To destroy the cursed beast and save this world from its fury. But even for the cold-hearted being he chose to become, this breathtaking view couldn't be ignored. His arms were crossed, and his eyes were crossed. Were closed.
No, his arms were closed and his eyes were crossed.
I'm sorry, but I really wanted to do that joke. He was just tasting it. The peace of it all. The same peace his soul couldn't obtain. At least, not until that moment.
Okay, can I say, I think the sheer amount of ellipses in these latest two chapters has doubled, at least.
It definitely feels like it. But to be honest, I've kind of just tuned them out while I'm reading.
I mean, there are so many ellipses, you can build an army and conquer the world with them.
He took a deep breath, filling his lungs with the fresh sea air, and enjoying it as much as he could.
Hi, I didn't think I'd find someone else here this early in the morning.
Immediately, the silver hedgehog uncrossed his arms, and turned his head to stare at the newcomer, ready to fight if necessary. He was quite surprised when he saw who his guest was, or what he was, for that matter. It was a creature different from any beings he'd ever known. It had been a rotund and noseless face, light grey skin, green bushy hair, and empty black eyes. He wore a black suit with a cloak on its shoulders, and he was smiling, a friendly smile at that hedgehog.
Here it is. It's my favorite character to write for.
It spoke with a rather juvenile voice.
Yeah, what's it to you, old man? Aptui. Okay, never mind. And now I cannot help but imagining any given member for Team Skull from Pokemon Sun and Moon. My name is Void. May I ask you your name?
He greeted politely.
It's no use! I mean, Silver. I'm Silver the Hedgehog.
Silver, that's it, no use, the hedgehog responded his interlocutor.
You both have trouble pronouncing this word, it would seem.
Because it's a very unusual word that you never see in, normal everyday life, essentially.
What word?
Interlocutor.
What that word even is?
It's the person you're speaking with.
Okay, yeah, I can see why no one uses it normally.
Escaping from his trance,
Nice to meet you.
Void said while approaching him. Now that they were near each other, they could kiss.
Oh, for freak's sake.
Silver could notice other interesting details about this individual. First of all, the hedgehog was slightly taller than him, 1.5 feet at least. His kind of man. Not counting the vertical head quills. And secondly, Void's appearances somehow resembled the one of a plant.
Strange, isn't it?
Strange, isn't it?
Isn't it beautiful? The sight, I mean.
Void was staring at the sea.
I always love to come here when I need to clear my thoughts.
Then he turned to his guest.
You're not from the zone, right?
Silver shyly nodded, while staring at sea as well.
So, what brought you here? Vacation? Or perhaps some unfinished business?
The hedgehog turned to the plant-like creature, almost in surprise.
Just who is this person?
The
He's
cloaked
thinking.
The cloaked being smirked at him. What Silver didn't know was that Void had a very peculiar ability. An ability he inherited from her mother. He could read the other's soul through their own eyes.
Oh gosh, I hate this.
Is Void a canon character?
It is from the game Sonic Shuffle.
Okay.
And his design was reused to make Cosmo in the Sonic X anime. Hence why I'm connecting the dots in such a weird backward way.
He didn't have many difficulties in doing so with the silver rodent. Anyone could have noticed that he was troubled.
And very unlikable to look at. It's good to have a purpose in life. I, myself, have one. Just be careful in what you wish for, or it could consume you. Void is not very good at following his own advice.
And he's a bit, a bit much.
I mean, you haven't seen anything yet.
Also, I like to say that even people in real life even have trouble following their own advice anyway.
Yes.
He smiled one last time before disappearing into nothingness within a green miasma. The hedgehog literally freaked out.
That was such a nice conversation, wasn't it? That was Chaos Control! Who was that guy?
He asked himself.
And how did he know about my mission to find the Bakeneko trigger?
An exaggerated number of questions crossed the silver one.
Too many questions! It's no use!
Until he decided to dismiss them as not fundamental. The only thing he cared about was his mission, and nothing would have distracted him from its accomplishment. He took one last breath and rose in midair. Vengeance was near.
Dun 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 dun,
Etc., etc., etc.
This was chapter 2. I think we're good for tonight. Wouldn't
Yes.
you agree?
Yeah, I think we're good for tonight.
I was curious to look at the reviews this week has gotten, and the first 2 reviews I see are from the same person from this year and say, Silver is cooler than that! I am outraged! Why did you make Silver a fucking madman?
I think that's one of the only few bad reviews I've received for this whole literary concussion.
Yeah.
Which is such a weird, specific outrage for Silver of all characters.
Oh, Blaze is gonna burn! Silver, you should really make him suck royally at killing people like he did in Sonic 06. That would be the ultimate. I thought the conversation between Amy and Blaze was kind of cute, but...
Yes, especially the disrespectful giggling. Yes.
Maybe it was nervous giggling.
No, it was giggling in the face of her pain, as it was written.
Haha, you were suffering.
Or,
Okay.
I don't know how to react this.
Well, anyway, thanks for joining us, everybody. This has only just begun, as they say.
This has just begun.
And it's about to get even weirder. And by that I mean better. And by better I mean worse.
It's about to get even weirder.
So yes. So Devar, what did you think of it so far?
Just your typical fare of what you wrote so far for the Tales Saga, really. Totally inept at certain things, and execution of certain things, and spit in the face of certain things here and there, but with some interesting ideas here and there, I guess.
We can all agree that the absolute worst thing about it is that whole, hey, Knuckles did not heal my wounds even though he can magically heal them because he wanted me to feel pain, because pain means being alive, and by learning that, I will not try to kill myself anymore, which is the most bungled up logic applied to anything outside of freaking modern philosophy.
Yeah, this would probably be written in some different way because, for example, the nightmare scene, it would have been scary, but the way this kind of an
it's
self-ironic way that's written made it a riot.
I'm trying to do both at the same time, and it's clearly not working, because it's happening in the midst of a Dexter's Laboratory parody.
Tone is a bit off at times.
Indeed. Well, it's only going to get better from this point on. And worse at the same time. Have a happy life, everybody. We'll see you next week for more of this nonsensical, narcissistic...
Poetry in mayhem.
It's a poetry in mayhem. It's a horrendous havoc. Good night, everybody. I'll be playing Sonic Forces soon enough, and this gentleman here gave me a few ideas for names for my Sonic Forces OC. We spent an hour making up horrible names on Discord.
Yes.
I am not even exaggerating. It was a full hour.
Oh boy. Anyway, so good night and take care, buddy.
Good night.
Yes. And remember, you guys, whatever you do, It's no use!
And kiss.